VAVOOM. Okay, so your waist. Inhale. Exhale, let it all hang out. What we totally don't want to do, right? Ever in public. Cross it over. I'm not showing you my numbers. And now your high hip, low waist measurement. So for me, I don't know if you can relate to this, but you know, on your back, some people have this, some people don't. On my back, I have 2 dots that connect my muscles to my pelvis, and I basically line up the measuring tape right there, and then I go horizontally across the biggest part of my waist. Inhale, exhale, let it all hang out. Look in the mirror, don't look down, because again, that crunches you over. Okay, ladies, the ultimate determination of your hourglass figure, your booty. Okay, so when you stand, some people have a natural tendency to stand like, okay, it's hard to do, that or something. You know, you tilt the bucket backwards, so to speak. Like if your hip bones are like a cup, you want it to be pretty level. Ladies, we tend to tilt the bucket forward. Gentlemen tend to tilt the bucket backward. Men's hamstrings might be tighter. Ladies' hamstrings are generally looser, and our lower backs are tighter, and our abs are. Okay, so again, using the tape measure like a towel, you want to put it at the widest part of your booty and cross it where your hip flexors are is where you want the horizontal to start. So if you feel like the biggest part of your horizontal is lower than where your hip flexors are, then you need to pull it up a little bit. Or if maybe it's too high, you're not really measuring how beautiful your hourglass is. So you gotta tuck it down a little bit. So wherever horizontal is, and again, you want your hip bones to be pretty straight, right? So that way you're not like, oh yeah, this is my butt right there, and this is how I'm measuring it, and no, that's not gonna work. You have to stand up straight, and it doesn't matter if you're sucking it in or not, because like I said, it's below your abs. Is that. And your thighs. So your thighs are a good measurement of possibly how much body fat you could be carrying / how much muscle you could be carrying. You want to wrap it around. You want to stand on both legs, and wherever the thickest part of your inner thighs are. Oh, this is so beautiful. Anyways, so you want to wrap it around. Again, make sure it's wherever the thickest part is on your inner thigh. You want to make sure it's horizontal this way, horizontal this way, horizontal this way. You know, if it's not, I have a tendency to pull up on the front of my thigh. And this to me feels like it's horizontal. But then if you look at me sideways, it's probably higher than my hamstring, right? So that's why you want to use the mirror and make sure that it actually is horizontal. This is probably horizontal right there. And I can tell because I've been doing this for the past, how long have I been doing this? 2 years, I think? Something like that. And my numbers have changed actually a lot. Very, very interesting. So those you should do once a week. That way you can see where you are realistically. If you do circumferences every single day, that's a bit excessive. Again, unless you're training for a competition or a photo shoot or something and you really, really, really want that itty bitty little waist, then it might be something to track every single day. But if not, then it's a little much. And bonus, uh-oh, there's another bonus. Woo-hoo. Track your transverse abdominis strength, your TA strength. Now, what do I mean by that? When you're measuring your high waist, your belly button, and your low waist, I mentioned earlier that you should completely let it hang out and just, right? Your transverse abdominis, the layers of your ab muscles. If you can imagine a house with a foundation, the foundation in the ground is your transverse abdominis. And technically, it's your corset muscle. It's the very, very base, way, way deep inside, right next to your organs. And when you activate this, you're protecting not just your lower back, because it's the only ab muscle that's connected to your lower back, bones, your spine. So it's very important to keep it strong, keep it conditioned, because it helps you with your lower back pain. And I know this from personal experience. So your transverse abdominis is the foundation of your house, right? It needs to be solid, rock solid. And you should be able to make it do whatever you want it to do. I'll explain more in a little bit. Your obliques are the next next layer up. Those are, if you can imagine, your walls of your house. They keep it mobile or non-mobile. A house shouldn't be mobile, it should just be solid. But bad analogy. Can you help me come up with another analogy than a house? Oh boy. And then the roof of your house is your sexy 6-pack, 8-pack, whatever is actually showing. It's these guys here, right? Your rectus abdominis. So that is your roof. Now, when I was working at the gym, I saw quite a few people just doing crunches galore, sit-ups galore, just pounding it out, going, yeah, I'm gonna work on my 6-pack, right? Just right in there. Now, you can make those sexy poppers pop out a little bit more if you strengthen the foundation of your house. So that way it's not like you're putting a roof on quicksand, it's just gonna sink. Ooh, that's a good analogy. I should come up with something like that. Another thing that I've seen people at the gym, they work their obliques like this. And they hold a weight in both hands. A 45-pound dumbbell in both hands. Now, what is that gonna do to you? What is this? You know, I could understand if you're holding one 45 dumbbell and you're going this direction, like, woo, right? And you're holding it one, but this one is free, and you're just pulling that direction, like, yeah, I feel the burn. But, you know, I would see people holding super heavy weights in both hands, going like this for like 10 minutes. And it's like, you know, I would come up to them and go, excuse me, in a really nice way. What are you doing? What, are you dancing or something? No, I'm working my obliques. You know, if I may make a suggestion, no, I'm working my obliques. This works for me. You remember what I said before in one of my previous blog episodes about not wanting to learn anything else. So what can I do? Just walk away. So anyways, your transverse abdominis. The function of your transverse abdominis is to suck it in or brace. You know, brace or hollowing. Bracing or ab vacuuming. What is a vacuum? It sucks it in, right? So, your transverse abdominis, your high belly button and your low waist. So at the high waist, again, inhale, exhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna suck it in as hard as you can, like suck it in. Just vacuum it, right? Okay, so inhale, do it with me. Exhale. Right? You can't see anything because when you do that, you're pushing it out. Anyways, so that's also a great exercise that I mentioned in another one of my blog episodes. You could suck it in and try to hold it for 30 seconds. Do that at the high waist, suck it in at the belly button, and especially at the lower waist for the ladies, with a little bit extra curve right here. So you want to relax completely and let it all hang out. Ugh, I know, right? Awful. And then remember the ab vacuum. Inhale, exhale, and suck it in as hard as you can. Just remember those tips. And those would be 2 interesting numbers on each of those levels to keep track of every single week. And it's really exciting to track those numbers. Other measurements to take: your neck, your forearms. So your forearms, wherever the bulge, basically. You want to look for wherever the bulge is. For me, the bulge is pretty high. If you can, I don't know if you can see this. The bulge is right down here. For some people, like guys, especially if they do these things here and these things, and ladies, we don't need to do this unless you specifically want to grow like big beefy forearms. Whew. Anyways, their forearms measurement might be more up here, but for us ladies, it's kind of closer to the elbow. It's the wrists. It would be a good thing to take. It's not like you can grow it or shrink it, but it's just interesting to have. They actually do change. So if you've had an injury, like I've had a wrist injury before, when there's a storm or there's a low pressure system on its way, or already here actually, if it's already here, this wrist will actually grow by 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch during the storm, and then after the storm is gone, then it'll actually go back to its normal. So it's really interesting to track if you have injuries, and I'm sure most people have injuries. If you did sports as a kid. I'm Jessica Young, your bikini fitness trainer, and thank you for watching. Make sure to post your comments, questions, and fitness topics you want me to talk about below. And I'll see you next Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another bikini blog episode. Mwah! And again, you want the end to be somewhere around the what was I saying? So you want it like that. You also want to look sideways and see, oops, sorry, I got super long hair. Ah. Okay, this is complicated. Oops. Everybody. Okay, I'm confusing myself.